Congratulations with this film.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I love how it's very Hollywood and the very looking forward to that Hollywood dream story. I mean, everyone, that's what the one thing that I feel like everyone has in common. The character, of course, he's just trying to survive.
Yeah. I mean, that was really early on in our like creative process when we were formulating the idea and the writing process is like we felt so like a little bit jaded by Hollywood itself because there is this burning desire to always be creating and just knowing that you can do something, whether it's the acting or the writing or the directing or whatever. Just Hollywood just has this way of calling to you, and it's so hard to get it done. You can get jaded, and especially during the time when we first started writing this, we had just come out of COVID and then right into some strikes in Hollywood, and just everything felt like it was extra difficult. And for that reason, like we really started playing with this idea of like what's the price of fame and like living in this Hollywood. And so having something that like we could all identify with as a creative, as a someone that is like searching, following a dream, you know.
Nikki, tell me about your character that is also trying to find her own dream, but a little different and getting to help.
Yeah, so I play Harper Green. She, without giving too much away, she used to sing at the lounge where Grit's daughter disappears from, and she's very much. It's easy for me to embody this character because, like, we're just talking about, that j just jaded. You're watching people get further ahead, and you are like, I've been in situations where I'm like, man, I wish I just didn't have this much self-respect or I would be so much further in my career, but it's that like that jadedness and that grit that I love about her and her um willingness not to sacrifice, who she is, and she also has secrets and cares. So she's very complex and so much fun. And I think she kind of in a way grounds the audience a little bit and pulls us back into reality with all the craziness coming on.
Tell me about the scene in the kitchen. Well, because the three of you were there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hilarious scene. Can you tell me about Grit kind of showing up to like, well, kind of crashing to her house, and then the whole mechanism there to make that magic.
Yeah, I mean, well, for us on the director side and the writing side is like we really like wanted not just to have some fun, complex female characters, but we wanted like our characters and Harper specifically to like be able to go toe to toe with Grit. And and so like that was, some of the most fun that we've had because we have Grit who's like very competent, but also like self-destructive in the worst ways. And so we just thought it would be fun to be able to square them off against one another and see kind of who wins. And in this situation, I think Harper wins a little bit, but it was a lot of fun to film and a lot of fun to watch, and especially just the way that Max and Nikki played it, especially with that moment that that knife comes out in the scene was so much fun.
Yeah, Max is, I mean, he's such a phenomenal actor across the board, but his comedy chops, I'm so happy that they're being showcased here because I feel like he hasn't gotten to showcase that, and it's so good because he is so grounded, and so the character, it's not coming off as trying to be funny, it's just instinctually him reacting, and it's every time we did the scene it was a little bit different, because we're both just reacting to each other in this crazy situation, and it was one of my favorite scenes to film. Honestly, it was so much fun.
Now you had so many characters with its own dream and determinations, but which one would you say is the one that kind of hits you a little more? Nikki, I mean, aside of your character, but another one from the film. I have my own favorite that just really like shocked me even when
Oh, I need to know what your
Yeah, you can
favorites
share
are.
yours.
I want to know your favorite, and then I'll share.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, may I mean, Linda's character, I just, she's so, I guess relatable. Like I can see myself in this as a woman in this business. Just I just feel for her because I know the stress of feeling like you have to be eternally this perfect thing and watching her struggle. She just was so I just felt for her no matter what. And she just did such a phenomenal job. I mean, she is such a superstar. And it's so humbling to be on a set with her. But I think she really, she was one of my favorites. And Patrick, of course, because he's just, uh, he, the choices that he made, like as an actor, watching somebody who's just been doing this for so long and so comfortable to make all of these fantastic choices. I'm like, how do you even think of that? And he's just such a fun, complex character to watch. That those might be my two.
Yeah, I have such a soft spot for Grit. Like he just is the epitome of self-sabotage and wallowing in your own pity, but like in with like just sprinkling little moments of comedy on it. And I think the layers that Max does in this role are just it's so phenomenal. And obviously I can echo what Linda did with Eleanor, and Patrick did with Clarence. Clarence really is just so much fun. And the great thing about what Patrick did is that he took what was on the page and he added so much on screen. And it really was an absolute lesson in acting and the what true actors can bring to a role.
I'm with Nikki. I'm gonna agree with Eleanor because she's the one that I would have loved to know her backstory, the beginning to what led her to come to Hollywood. And I feel like she was one of those characters that was just like the just like the girls. But yet
Yeah.
life happened. She ended up with a successful bar, and then that's the one thing that could she could hang on to that made her feel popular, successful,
Mhm.
that feel of she made it, and she was hanging on to it so tightly, fearfully.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
one of those little those allegories that we played with was just like, especially for women, because and I give Kristina Denton, our co-writer on here, just so much credit with her ability to really showcase that struggle, that internal struggle of an aging superstar in Hollywood and what the toll that takes. And we juxtapose it with these young women chasing what Eleanor had. And so they're both chasing the same things. The young and the older are both chasing the same things, but from the complete opposite end of the spectrum.
Even till the end, she just maintained it ruthless. I was
Mm.
shocked. That
Yeah.
character shocked me. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Purple.
So tell me about deciding to make it very old Hollywood feel. I mean, I understand with the title why you would do it, but why made you come up with that and maintaining it?
Yeah, so I really love the old school noirs, and it's something that I was just such a huge fan of, and specifically Billy Wilder, and the stuff that he was able to do in the 50s and early some of the 40s too. But what I love about him is that he could do the noirs, that were, very straightforward and dramatic. But on the flip side, he could do, like Some Like It Hot and comedy, right? And so I took that and then I wanted to do something that felt like it was rooted in traditional Hollywood storytelling, but bring it to the present and do it in a sort of ambiguous way where it could be now, it could be 20 years ago, it could kind of be any time. And so I wanted to take that so the audience feels like it's familiar, but it also feels fresh and new with the ways that we like really dove into these just incredibly rich characters that are funny and just absolutely disastrous and just mix it and do it in a way that just hopefully people can kind of latch onto and really, kind of root for and root against and all those fun things.
Yeah, you did great. One of my favorites was the one where Grace is following Vivian. that the way you filmed the street, the fog,
Oh
the
yeah.
shadow. I really appreciated that.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, our cinematographer Jay Visit, I've been working with him for a very long time, and he is just one of the most talented human beings on the planet with a camera. And he is going to be one of the biggest and best cinematographers, in the world. I can just see it, and so it's really great to be able to work with talented folks like that. And his photography on this is just so beautiful, especially because we're just a small indie film, right? And so we're really trying to punch out of our weight class and really try to like make this feel like bigger and richer than what we had. And because of Jay and because of our production design and costumes, it really, I think, really helped this movie level up.
That's the beauty of independent films. Those are the ones I actually love more and appreciate more. They have truly more of a pure heart.
Yeah, and that's what I think we're missing, like in cinema right now, is like we stopped doing these stories. And that's why it was important for me to like really try to do something again that people can just like turn on and have a good time and feel nostalgic while being new. And so an indie film does that.
Nikki, tell me about the scene where one of the final scenes, with so much activity, in that office.
Oh my gosh. Well, first of all, I'm such a huge fan of Robert Lusardo that I just was like, I can't even believe what I'm like that I'm working with this man. And it was so cool. It's a really powerful scene. And it really as an actor took a lot out of me to do that scene. More, I think when you're in it, you don't realize, but you're feeling the same emotions that you would be feeling if that was the situation. So afterwards, you need that recovery time. But I mean, he is so phenomenal to work with and just locks in on that character and just helps you drop in even further to your own. And yeah, it was really cool to especially work with the squibs and have some action because I don't really get to do that a lot. And it was a little bit intimidating because that's Robert's MO. I mean, he's made his entire career over doing that, and so he was helping me out, which was so nice of him. I was like, I can't actually hit this man. I didn't, thank God. But it was really it's such a fun climax for Harper, and I think a great kind of culmination of everything leading up to that moment and a really cool, fun scene.
And real quick, before I let you guys go, Ryan, tell me about the scene in the bedroom. There was so much going on. That's the scene where I was like at the edge of my sofa.
Yeah, it was again, we were just really playing with the idea of self-sabotage and protecting yourself and doing anything and everything at whatever the cost of fame might be for each individual character, right? And so we really took a lot of time to set up each character's wants and needs and desires and then have them all kind of intersect and cross-sect into that final bedroom scene. And it's like, it's a little bit of my Tarantino moments, a little bit of like, inspiration that I took in these old school things. And it's just like, how do we really just, you know, yank the air out of the room with, for the audience and then, kind of bring it back with some levity in moments too. And so, I hope it works. I hope it works for people. And it's was so much fun to shoot. Like, oh my God, just to have literally everybody in the room together and be like, all right, it's game time. And everybody, the cool thing is when people are in the room together, it just levels their games up. And so that was awesome.
Great. Yeah, I feel like I was kind of like going like this, like, oh my gosh, so much information to take in at once.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it was great. Well, thank you both so much for your time.
Thank
Congratulations.
you. Thank
And
you.
Thank you so much,
I very
Nancy.
much, like I said, enjoyed that old Hollywood feel. I'm a sucker for the older films,
Thank
olden
you.
age. So yeah, you brought a touch of that. So for me, that was nostalgic.
Oh,
That's
thank you
awesome.
so much. That means that's I really appreciate that. So thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you again.